Welcome to the Art of Link. When explaining why a character works, typically the focus will be on mobility, combo ability, and the startup frames for attacks. When discussing Link, however, these things aren't anywhere near as important. What Link lacks in mobility, extended combos, and fast moves, he makes up for with his projectiles, range, power, and most importantly, option coverage and traps. Link is a character who flows best when the opponent's movement options are limited, because it means he can safely throw out his attacks unchallenged. The range, duration, and area coverage of his attacks will beat out most options that the opponent might take, so long as they are where you expect them to be. Link's primary objective is to limit his opponent's movement options, keep them like that, and then throw out his superior attacks and claw shot to cover the options they have left. The opponent's options can be limited by being hit upwards, into a tech situation, off stage, being backed into the corner of the stage where they can no longer run away, being forced to jump or double jump, having a projectile block a movement option, or being pressured to stay in shield. There's an endless amount of setups to limit the opponent's options. So long as you have a general idea of where the opponent might be, Link's moves will do the rest. Because of this, Link can struggle against a very bait and punish heavy playstyle, whereas he actually performs quite well against pure rushdown playstyles. It also means that Link can struggle against characters with superior air mobility, since they have an easier time avoiding and escaping traps. Link is actually a surprisingly great edgeguarding game, as well as a good recovery. It's actually one of the few recoveries that can actually threaten the opponent that try to gimp you. His recovery options are all certainly beatable, but he always has an option that he could use to recover safely. It's just a matter of getting a feel for which option to use in any given scenario. Link is also relatively heavyweighted, allowing him to survive for a very long time, which not only lets him kill much earlier, but actually opens up additional combos and more reliable kill confirms. Link's fastfall ability is particularly important. It's definitely one of his strongest attributes. Link has a medium regular fall speed. However, he is the only character that can increase his fall speed by 90%, which basically makes him a fast faller as well. Every other character increased their fall speed by 60% by fast falling, except for Ryu, increasing it by only 40%. It does wonders for his trap game, allowing you to threaten opponents trying to land by making them afraid of an up air, only to be immediately on the ground, covering all of their escape options with an up smash. It can help his landing by, for example, fast falling with a down air or neutral air, to catch people attempting to keep juggling you when their follow-ups are already too slow. Or, instead of fast falling back to stage, he can fast fall, then air dodge, which prevents opponents from being able to punish the air dodge, then cancelling the air dodge with a tether at any time to grab the ledge. The Hylian shield allows you to block almost any projectile. Apart from in extreme and unrealistic scenarios, the Hylian shield will let you experience less shield stun than a perfect shield. Unlike perfect shielding, the Hylian shield allows you to walk or dash on the same frame that you can do any other action. With perfect shielding, you need to wait an additional 7 frames in order to walk or dash. Hylian shield will not function at all unless you are standing, walking, or already in the crouch position. On frames 1 to 11 of the pivot animation, the Hylian shield will not work, and likewise the Hylian shield will not block until frame 8. On the way up or down, while Link is transitioning between standing and crouching. The Hylian shield will also start blocking at frame 16 after dropping shield. However, it starts blocking after frame 8 if you drop shield and immediately start walking. And of course, you need to be aware of that you can still be hit if the opponent aims their projectiles so that it avoids the Hylian shield. Jab is typically used in the neutral to intercept dash grabs or dash attacks, and to keep your opponent away. Instead of finishing off with the third jab, you can follow up with a grab or down tilt. to potentially start a combo, or spin attack, forward smash, down smash, and up smash to try and score a kill. This usually only works if the opponent chooses to air dodge. The opponent's second option would be attacking, with either a quick neutral air or a quick up B. This can be baited and shielded, and if they attack from too far away, or if it's too slow, you can punish it as well. The third and most consistent option would be double jumping to avoid these options. However, Link can always jump after and punish the double jump with a forward air or up air. Characters with a slow jump like Ness, Lucas, Peach, and Mewtwo are much more vulnerable to jab follow-ups, since they have a slower double jump than normal, making it much harder for them to avoid anything by double jumping, especially if only the second jab connects. If the opponent is a fast faller, they will land quick enough to roll, spot dodge, or jab to punish Link for cancelling the second jab. Against these characters, you want to usually just finish off with the third jab. It's also good to just generally use the third hit to condition the opponent into always expecting it. The second jab has a small amount of growth knockback, meaning that at higher percents, Link will have a 3 or even 5 frame advantage, depending on the character and how much rage Link has, making follow-ups like jab to spin attack much harder to avoid. If you jab the opponent's shield at too close range, they'll usually be able to punish you for it. And at longer range, the second jab can be relatively safe, especially since you can try and intercept their punish with the third jab. Once the opponent starts expecting the third jab or down tilt, you can try and punish their shield with a grab. Jab is also used for punishing spot dodges, whenever the opponent is trying to bait out a grab. Down tilt is Link's safest grounded move. It's also an amazing combo starter. It also has a bit more range than jab or forward tilt, as well as less end lag, allowing you to safely pressure shields and intercept aggression with jab. This move has a very easy time poking through shields, which is important to note, since Link will usually want to damage the opponent's shield as often as he can. Down tilt has a very weak spike hitbox at the middle of the sword, which can be used to punish characters that have bad recoveries and overshoot the ledge. However, at the percentage where it starts killing, you might as well use forward tilt or down smash, since it's more effective. Link's forward tilt is one of his best moves, having great range, kill power, and little end lag. It's a great option for when you're ledge trapping the opponent, as it has a total of 4 active frames out in front, which makes it a decent option to catch a regular ledge getup. It also hits below the edge, making it an excellent move to 2-frame opponents who try to make it back to stage. Keep in mind though that the forward tilt will only start hitting opponents in front at frame 16, and only frames 18 and 19 hit the 2-frame. Using forward tilt in combination with a pivot is a great tool for walling, baiting, and punishing the opponent for trying to approach you, since it has a lot of shield pushback, so if the opponent tries to punish you, you can always intercept it with jab. Up tilt is Link's fastest tilt, and it's mainly used as an anti-air that has less commitment than an up smash. However, if the opponent is grounded, the up tilt is very unsafe to use. At really high percentage, the up tilt will serve as a kill move. At mid to high percentage, if you connect with the back hit of up tilt, it connects to up air, and at low percentage, it can combo into itself. However, remember that the purpose of up tilt is to punish opponents for being in the air, or to bait out a double jump and punish what comes next, not to keep juggling them for easy damage. Up smash is all about option coverage and killing. It's mainly used for punishing air dodges after you've baited them out. It also punishes the opponent if they are trying to land after already have expended their double jump. And of course, it also usually punishes the opponent for trying to land with an attack. Be careful using this move against grounded opponents though, since it can be extremely punishable if the opponent shields it, or avoids it with a double jump. Lastly, and most importantly, up smash is a great out of shield option to punish opponents around you and above you. Also, be careful using this move under platforms, since the opponent has a chance of getting out. Down smash is Link's fastest smash attack, mainly used to kill and punish air dodges as well as occasional rolls behind Link. It does 14% on the tip, 16% in the middle and within Link, and lastly 17% on Link's arm, which is where the move will kill at its earliest. The back hit of down smash sends opponents at a 30-degree angle. This move is not safe on shield, so you should avoid using it if the opponent has a chance of shielding it. Forward smash is mostly used for punishing laggy moves and hard reads. It also scales amazingly well with rage, so it can net you some incredibly early kills. The first swing of forward smash has a tipper, which immediately launches the opponent. And if you connect with the middle of the blade, it'll combo into the second hit, which kills earlier than if you just hit with the tipper forward smash. The tipper forward smash is relatively safe on shield, since it does require the opponent to recognize the situation quickly and be confident and capable enough to punish the move. However, the threat of the second swing can easily put the opponent in a state of hesitation. Dash attack is mostly used to punish retreating landings after the double jump has been expanded, or to punish rolls away. You can also use it to hit opponents that are off stage but close to the ledge, and lastly, to punish laggy enough moves. Link's neutral air is one of his fastest moves and can be put to many uses, as it can be a landing option, a defensive option in the neutral to for example beat out an opponent's approach, or as an offensive option to punish jumps out of shield and extend combos. It can also be relatively safe to approach with neutral air, since if you spot dodge immediately, you'll avoid the grab attempt. It lasts for a good amount of time and has extremely little end lag, allowing you to act 8 frames after the final hitbox, making it one of the better edgeguarding tools in the game, since if you connect with the late part of neutral air, you can true combo into another neutral air or forward air. Neutral air can also have an easy time poking through shields. It can also potentially be a useful tool to hit opponents as they use a ledge option. Since neutral air lasts for a good amount of time, it will easily eat through the invulnerability frames of a regular getup. At low percentage, if the opponent does a regular getup, the sour spot neutral air will cause a ledge slip, and then if you're fast enough, you can actually combo this into a down air. And at higher mid percents, you can combo into forward air for the kill. If you're off with your timing, the opponent may get a power shield and punish you though, so it is a commitment. Back air is Link's fastest move. It's a really good out of shield option against opponents that are behind Link. Sometimes when you buffer a back air, the second hit won't connect, especially on smaller characters. This is why it's really effective to fast fall a buffered back air, so that the second hit connects. The main use of back air, however, is to only hit with the first hit. It has a set knockback, meaning the opponent's percentage won't affect how far they get launched. However, the more rage Link has, the more hit stun and knockback it will receive, giving you a 1 to 3 frames of an advantage, depending on how much rage you have. This allows you to combo or realistically string into a lot of different options. Against fast fallers, it'll be much harder to connect combos, except for jab and grab. But of course, the more rage you have, the easier it will be to connect. If you correctly space the first hit of back air against shields, it works as an excellent bait. Back air is also generally good at crossing up behind the opponent's shield, with either both the hits or just the first hit, to bait out a shield grab or another out of shield option and intercept it. This is also a great tool on platforms, if you combine it with more back airs while fast falling or neutral air, since it's safe and will punish opponents for trying to act too soon out of shield. To have the neutral air come out, you need to jump, double jump, back air and then neutral air. Just simply full hopping will not work. Forward air is great in the neutral, superb at killing, and is Link's best move to really damage a shield. It has really good range and is great for catching opponents that short hop and full hop. It's also a great tool for punishing ledge jumps and characters that approach with short hop air dodges. Out of a short hop, you can choose to either go for both the swings or just the first swing. After you connect the first swing on shield, it'll apply enough shield stun so that it becomes impossible for the opponent to punish. And if they try, they get punished with the second swing, meaning they pretty much just have to shield both the hits and back off. What you want to do is to keep your opponent guessing whether you will use 1 or 2 swings. And this is where Link's amazing fastfall comes into play, because it allows you to quickly choose between only using 1 or 2 swings, or just land with an empty hop to a grounded option, giving you more walling options. You can also full hop, forward air at the peak to cover jumps, and then fastfall to cover the ground as well. It also adds a ton of safe pressure on opponents that go for regular getup, while also putting you in the advantage to read what their next option would be. The first hit of forward air, which is stronger than the second hit, works the same in terms of that just safely pressuring the shield at range allows Link to identify what option the opponent prefers to use after the hit, making it one of his best baiting and identification tools. And at higher percentage, forward air becomes Link's safest and most reliable kill option. It can kill really early and can be set up with boomerang, bombs, down throw, or jab jab. It's also good for pressuring opponents on platforms, since both the hits will hit above the platform, while Link stays underneath. Besides all this, forward air is also a combo move, dealing roughly 25% if you connect both the hits, and it can be followed up after down tilt, boomerang, or bombs. And while forward air is being covered, let's talk a little bit about Link's ledge options. While hanging on the ledge, forward air is by far Link's best ledge getup, since like I mentioned before, it deals a lot of damage, can combo, or kill, which basically conditions the opponent to hold their shield. At the same time though, both hits are usually safe on shield, if you drift back while hitting them. Drifting towards them can result in Link getting punished. So while Link can always threat the opponent with the ledge getup forward air, it also frees up his other ledge options a little bit, since they are already stuck in shield in anticipation of the forward air. There's 3 ways of actually punishing Link's forward air ledge getup. The first and most obvious would be counter. The second option would be spacing yourself away, so that the forward air wouldn't reach. Then punishing the landing. This can also be played around by using Zair to punish opponents for staying too far away, or just simply use another ledge option. The third option would be full hopping, so that you jump over both the swings and then punish from above or just as Link lands. This requires Link to play a bit more patiently and possibly choose another option carefully to be able to play around it. Up air can be auto-cancelled in a full hop. This is simply done by full hopping and buffering in up air. A personal recommendation would be setting a shoulder button to jump and the C stick to attack, so you can easily pull this off while being able to freely drift whichever way you want with the analog stick. It outlasts air dodges, so you just need to follow their DI and hit with the weak part. Full hop up airs are a very necessary part of Link's vertical trap game, which includes up air, bomb throws, empty hops, fast falling, up tilt, and up smash. Then, as they move to the side, you can include things like dash grabs, dash attacks, bomb slides, and so on. It's also possible to hit some characters off the ground with it. However, this is difficult to do raw, for many reasons, especially if the opponent is a moving target, or if the opponent is too small, and so it's not something Link should normally ever go for, unless you use a bomb. Full hop double jump up airs is great for reading and punishing predictable double jumps, so just like forward air, if you know where the opponent will be, you can use it as an option coverage, since it'll usually always win. And because of its amazing reach, it also typically beats out any down air that directly challenges it. Down air is mostly about option coverage as well, and that it covers most options from below, limiting the opponent from being able to punish you in most cases. There are of course some rare cases though where the down air will trade or get beaten completely, especially since Link is still vulnerable from the side. So while it can sometimes be a good move to land with and cover options from below, it can still easily be punished if you are too obvious with it. It becomes even trickier for the opponent to punish this move, however, as soon as you learn how to use it in combination with two important things. The first one would be fast falling. By mixing it up with using the down air with and without the fast fall, it becomes harder for the opponent to know where you actually will be, especially if the opponent is below you and tries to stay under you because you are falling slowly with the down air. While he waits for it to end, you can quickly surprise him by fast falling and throwing him off. The second important thing is to learn how to auto-cancel the move, so that even after you mix it up with fast falling or not, and land with the down air, it becomes lagless and thus unpunishable, at the same time as it allows you to be more elusive and punish the opponents for thinking they had a window to punish you. Mastering this will make the opponent's life a lot harder, and it's a very important part of Link's landing game, since Link will usually want to mix it up by landing with either neutral air, back air, forward air, or down air, at the same time as you cleverly use reverse arrows and even bombs to add more pressure as you land. The auto-cancel is available on the frame after the last active hitbox frame. Something to keep in mind is that the down air will bounce on hit and on shield if not fast fallen. It's not safe on shield unless the opponent hesitates in fear, since after bouncing on the shield, the opponent has a 20 frame window to punish Link without having to worry about the second hit of down air, because the second hit of down air will only start being active 21 frames after the shield hit's done. If you fast fall the down air, Link will not bounce, and instead just land on the ground. Actually, down air in general can be an amazing edgeguarding tool off stage, especially if the opponent needs to go for a low recovery, since you'll cover their options. And if you connect with the late hit of down air, it combos into neutral air, back air, or forward air for the kill. The first 4 frames of down air spike. The following 3 frames are the strong hit, and for the rest of the duration comes the slightly weaker hit. At certain percents, depending on weight and rage, Link can combo the first hit of down air to another down air, and follow up with either back air to up B, forward air, or another down air. However, all these down air combos can be avoided by DIing away. You can also A-cancel with down air, and more reliably, up air. This can be a useful ledge option. If you release the ledge, immediately double jump, air dodge, up air or down air to cancel the air dodge landing lag and land with shield or attack. Zair is kind of slow and weak, but has long range and is typically used as a poking tool so that the second hit comes out and you land immediately after. The larger or taller an opponent is, the more effective this becomes. It has 8 frames of landing lag and can be easily punished at close range, as well as you can run in under it and punish Link for using it. It is best to use Zair only when you feel confident that they will not be able to run under in time, like for example if they are currently in shield, or because they are using a move that can only be countered by a long-ranged and disjointed attack, or because you want to intercept an approach while spacing yourself backwards. It can work a little bit like Link's boomerang, in terms of that it forces the opponent to hold their shield if they try to approach. They both come out roughly at the same time and deal roughly the same amount of damage. The biggest difference would be that Zair has much less end lag, making it much safer, at the same time as it can potentially ignore perfect shields, since even if the opponent perfect shields the first hit and then releases the shield, they'll get hit by the second hit, so they have to stay in shield, while the boomerang can be easily perfect shielded and punished. Of course, the small sacrifice is that retreating Zair just adds a minimal amount of damage and pushes them slightly away, while boomerang could start a combo, or just launch the opponent in a much worse position. However, unlike a boomerang, Zair cancels out and goes through projectiles that do less than 11.5% damage. Zair also ignores clanking, so it cannot be swatted out of the air with an attack. It is really good in combination with the Gale Boomerang when it's about to bring the opponent back to you, since it will launch them perfectly for a combo extension. Grounded Spin Attack hits on frame 8 in front, so it's Link's fastest option in many scenarios, including out of a run, except for throwing a bomb. This move is typically used as an out-of-shield option to punish opponents that are close. Shielding the grounded spin attack at any point will mean that it cannot hurt the one who shielded for the rest of the move. And if it's shielded while Link has his back right up against the edge of a platform or the stage, he will fall off backwards while being unable to grab the ledge and die. It has to be right up against the edge though. Grounded spin attack can of course be charged to increase its damage and knockback, and it will hit on frame 4 upon release. And the tip of the sword will do less damage and knockback throughout the entire move. Aerial spin attack allows Link to grab the ledge very early when he's facing the ledge, and if you spin attack facing the other way, Link will grab the ledge much later, making him much more vulnerable. You can of course hold down on the analog stick to not grab the ledge at all until you return the joystick to neutral, which is extremely effective for Link and should be mastered. It can be used to counter attempted gimps by first avoiding their attack and then using spin attack directed towards the blast zone, which will often kill. And if you are recovering with a bomb, you can pretty much do this wherever you want and most of the time still survive. Something really strange and awkward is that even if you save your double jump and then use your aerial spin attack, after getting hit, your double jump will be lost. So as soon as you use your spin attack, you've basically wasted your double jump as well. Tether is Link's go-to option when recovering, unless the opponent has that covered. You can, however, air dodge while fast falling, and then tether to get yourself out of danger and prevent the opponent from being able to punish the air dodge. Using tether instead of spin attack will let you act immediately after grabbing the ledge, instead of having to wait an extra 20 frames. It can also be a secondary option of recovering after already have gotten trumped, since it'll make it harder for the opponent to punish you. You can instantly tether to the ledge by standing on the edge of the stage with your back to the ledge, jumping backwards, and within frame 3 to 7 use the tether. This is a really good way of ledge trapping the opponent. Credit goes to Foxy, Striker, and Cat for helping me out. These guys are awesome links, so make sure you check them out. And make sure to check out part 2, because it'll be the more important and helpful part, covering Link's projectiles, objective, and grab game. It also includes a sweet treat for all of you. It's a completely new stage made from the Unreal Engine.